Super quick video on how to use EQ on this for you beginner mix lab students. Say we have a snare drum. We want to do some EQing on the snare drum. Come to the home screen. Pressing any button on here will get us to the home screen. That's the home screen. Just come into the EQ. You can either press the EQ graph or bring one of the EQ knobs. You can see EQ pop up. There are a bunch of things to play with. You can change how the RTA looks. You can change different types of EQ, all that. The key thing here is that boost, cut, and bandwidth, right? If I grab a band, you can either control them with the knobs down here, like this is amount of gain for this low mid here, or you can do them here. I typically do them with these knobs. So highs, high mids, low mids, and lows. Let's add some treble, right? So I just added gain there. Change the frequencies, very simple. And you can change the Q. The Q is not affecting that band because it's defaulting right now to a shelf. If you want to make it a peak, turn off the shelf. It now becomes a peak. Likewise, if you're down on the low frequencies, they default to a shelf. Often I will not make my low frequencies a peak, so I will turn off the shelf and make it a peak. At which point I can pick the resonant frequency of the snare. It's around 200 here. Narrow it down a little bit for the snare drum. Now I have a nice little boost on the snare drum. Pretty simple process here. You can bypass specific bands. You've got 4 bands to work with. You do have a high pass filter. You can turn that on. You can adjust that. Anytime you see a white line around a knob, that means the knob below adjusts it. Or in the case of the high pass filter, we actually have a high pass filter knob here. Pretty simple. And you can change the order of the filter. You make it steeper or gentler. So that's just a simple primer for that. Cool, cool.